More DJ Joe on the ones and twos. It's Tuna, and it's only Tuna. I'm the one on the DJing right now. We're here. I'm loving this. Daddy G, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? What is up, Ray? And now I remember who this is now, Daddy G. I remember. I had to think back to the text, so I knew who I was actually talking to this time. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday evening. We are Joeless again, but obviously we are not showless. I am one half of this show. That is Tuna and Sheriff. Today, we got some fun topics. We're going to finish, obviously, wrapping up our wide receiver deep dive into the draft. Last stream on Wednesday, we went through rounds 1, 2, and a little bit of 3. Today, we're going to go through day 3 guys. That's rounds 4 through 7, with one that may be potentially undrafted. These are the guys that are, a little bit flawed, need a little bit more developing, or are they just diamonds in the rough waiting to be uncovered by the Los Angeles Rams? I love it. Hello, Edwin. What up, Sheriff Joe? And Tuna go Rams. Can't wait for the next Super Bowl win. I agree. Let's make sure that this is not rotating in and out music, and we're done there. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. I'm live. We're alive. We're happy. It's hot as hell down here in Los Angeles. I don't know where you are. How's the weather doing? How you guys living? Are you guys ready for football to start? I am. I spent the rest of my day making sure edits were done. Every year I do, if you guys are on Reddit, if you're part of the NFL subreddit, obviously the Los Angeles Rams subreddit, there's something that happens every single year around this time. It's called 32 teams in 32 days. The NFL subreddit, they spend 32 days where one person from each team's subreddit talks about, the season as a recap from the fans' perspective. I did the Rams one last year. I did it again this season, and it's a really, really long post. When I took it from my Google Docs, it was about 14 pages long. It's not 14 pages of just like an essay style, but basically it's long summary, long wrap up, and really quick tidbit on each game. Just kind of like a one-stop shop of how the Rams season went. I like doing it. It's fun. It's a good way to look back and see how the team did, and keep some things into perspective as well. Swing Timer, you're in LA too, right? I assume so. Tribe says, who do you want at 13? We're going to talk about that a little bit. I still think you take best player available. Who that best player is just depends on who is actually available. If it's Mansour Delane, I think the Rams still should take a DB. I think the draft is deeper at wide receiver than it is cornerback this year. I think you can get really, really good potential out of guys rounds 2, 3, and 4. Not to the same degree that you can get someone like a Mansour Delane. I think the levels are just a little bit different there. Muad'Dib says 36 degrees in the Riverside. If you're talking Celsius, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. We're not doing Celsius at all. Slam Sammy Joe, if Maui Goa or Freeling are there at 13, why not take them? They're worth the pick. Depends, man. And we're going to talk about that a little bit today, whether they trade back, this or that. Let's just jump right into it. It was popping off on my timeline today a little bit. I don't want to say disgracing his name, but I think just not respecting his name enough. And that's Warren McClendon. If you're following people, the experts that are not normally in Rams world, the PFFs, the PFTs, the big outlets, all they saw, and I'm taking this is my opinion, obviously don't know where they're getting their information from. It seems like they saw the headline of, hey, Rob Havenstein retired the Rams starting right tackle for years, end of an era. Oh my God, what are the Rams going to do at right tackle? And it really went under the radar about how many games he missed. Like, he missed half the season. Warren McClendon stepped in beautifully, not just for 2, 3, 4 games here and there. He played 10 regular season games, and he played the entirety of the playoffs. Rob Havenstein was, in my opinion, the people that I talked to, the fans here in Los Angeles, it was a concern of putting Rob back in the game. Warren McClendon had played so well and earned that position to the point where fans were like, can we please keep him in there? Like, he's playing better. And I kind of took offense to some of the, like, just I'm tired of seeing mock drafts where it's like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. You have to draft the right tackle. I agree there's a need for depth. And I think a lot of us need to keep in mind that, can you name one Rams tackle currently playing or old lineman on that starting 5 who was drafted in the first 2 rounds? The answer is none of them. Alec Jackson, I believe, was undrafted. Warren McClendon was a 5th rounder or 6th rounder, if I believe. Avila, I think, is the highest draft pick of round 3. Coleman Shelton was undrafted, and Kevin Dotson was a late rounder too. So the Rams do really, 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 really well with guys that were not taken in the first 2 rounds. I think we need to keep that in mind. This was the one that kind of triggered a lot of Rams fans, myself included. I think I fell for the clickbait, if it's clickbait. PFF posted their mock draft for the Rams, taking Spencer Fano. I get it. Like, some of these guys are really, really good. They're plug and play pieces. They can play, potentially guard. Okay. I think how we're valuing the first round pick is a little bit different than how other teams approach it. I think the Rams approach the draft, in my opinion, if you're taking in the first 2 rounds, they're looking for a guy that can contribute right away. Let's just take Spencer Fano here. He's going to be the unfortunate guinea pig for us to talk about in this segment. Spencer Fano, like, okay, let's say he's very talented. Let's say that he can play those multiple positions. Whose snaps is he taking right away? Unless McClendon or somebody else goes down for a length of time, whose snaps is he taking away? Is he going to start over Limmer at center, who's now going into his 3rd year in the system, and who the Rams really like a lot? Is he starting over? I can't even think of who the backup guard is. It's not Bruss, is it? No. God dang, who is the backup guard? Somebody help me out who the backup right guard is. I'm starting to get confused with the plug and play, swap a helmet. You can't tell which white guy it is up at the front. Same with the tight ends. But my problem is we get so infatuated with the first round being like, oh, these are can't miss guys. You can miss picks on linemen as well. And one thing that I always do keep in mind, that if you are relying on a rookie to start at either tackle for you, not a single team has ever won the Super Bowl with a starting tackle. Same with the starting rookie quarterback, with a starting rookie tackle. There's been teams that have made it as recently as Will Campbell this past season with the Patriots. Not a single team. It's almost the same degree of having a rookie quarterback, is because there's a lot that you're missing. There's a lot on their plate. And when you're playing the best of the best in the postseason, rookie linemen get exposed more times than not. The Rams fans should know this. Limmer is an easy scapegoat to see why the Rams didn't close out the Eagles in 2024. Dedich. Thank you. Right guard. I know some people were struggling to spell it here. A lot of people. Thank you guys. And yeah, the tight ends are just clones. I don't know if he has the potential to that extent. I don't think there's one single tackle that is touted as like a top 5 guy out of necessity for some teams, and out of just rare, like, someone has to be there. Like, someone has to fill the spot, obviously. But out of like a can't miss prospect, I think if you asked 10 different experts who really know the draft really well, who their top 2 guard tackles are, I think all 10 guys might have different answers to some degree. Like, who's first, second, third. There isn't one guy that stands out. Some guys are going to be stronger based on the system they go into, obviously. But I don't think just drafting a tackle at pick 13, one, is logical based on how the Rams team build at all. If they draft somebody in the first 2 rounds, they want someone to contribute right away. Even if it's not week 1, it's season 1 to some degree. Jared Verse contributing. They didn't ask him to be like, okay, cool, you are the guy, but we're going to need you to make a lot of damn plays in year 1. Terrence Ferguson didn't start off right away, was really, really slow. It ramped up, but he was a critical part of 13 personnel even working. Even if he didn't get the target share that fans were hoping for, they only go to 13 because they have an athlete. They have the potential in somebody like Terrence Ferguson, Nathan Schillhouse, and the tight ends coach. They were the ones that are pretty like heavy on getting 13 personnel installed this year and the change to it. But I do agree with this comment. Not only potentially Ben and Questenberry, but could play guard. All seem to miss games. Hello, ATL game. Absolutely. I think I'm not saying depth is not important, but I do think there's a lot of guys throughout the draft, and there's some leftover free agency guys where they could grab somebody today, tomorrow, and now it's like, okay, maybe we only spend a second rounder on somebody. And I don't want to play that injury game too much, because the same could be said about quarterback. If Stafford goes down, well, that's a risk. He's in year 18 now. You gotta trade back and draft a quarterback. You have to. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Same with receiver. Even though that's my opinion on, hey, let's go get a third weapon, a backup weapon in case Adams gets hurt. Okay, what if Puka gets hurt? What if Adams gets hurt too? Now you're down to wide receiver 3, and you're kind of asked out anyways, right? Same with defensive end with edge. What if Jared Verse gets hurt? Are you sure Josiah Stewart is the guy, the next edge rusher to step up, or should they draft somebody in the first round? I don't want to sit here and say like, no, you guys are wrong for wanting a tackle very high. I get the sentiment, but I think we're missing. Does that make sense? The forest through the trees in this situation, where there's a lot of guys like Jennings Dunker, one of my favorite linemen in the draft. Like, he's just a fun lineman to watch, and he could play guard. He's available in the second round. That would be a perfect. He'd be a fan favorite day 1 as a backup, and you still get best player available in round 1. The Wake Forest guy is somebody I personally love a lot. I think he's available in round 6 or 7. I think we need to get away from adding potential or tagging potential and how good a guy currently is with where their draft position is. Because Rams fans know better than anybody. Like, some of your favorite players were taken not even in the draft. Like, they're undrafted. Your favorite player, your kid's favorite player wearing jersey number 12 was taken in the 5th round, and not even the first Rams pick in the 5th round. So I think linemen can fall in that category too. The best lineman in this draft, when it's all said and done, might be taken in the 3rd or 4th round. It just, we really don't know. I will fight you on site. We've got family in town. The young nieces are saying this over and over. We're not doing this. We're not doing this, Moody. But he does say the draft is all about depth, and we get so stacked that we can go all in every year and F them picks, 5 years of draft picks. Yeah, that's the end all be all. If you can trade a pick 5 years from now, who cares? Do that. 3 out of 5 O-line free agents this year. Quality offensive tackle this year. Perhaps him earlier. Like, there's logic to it. It's just, I think where the Rams are in position, it's hard for me to envision this draft that PFF put together. And that's why I have the comments up here too. A lot of Rams fans don't agree with it. And I think part of that is we do have to respect what Warren McClendon did. It wasn't an anomaly. It wasn't just out of nowhere. Oh, hey, we're surprised Warren McClendon is doing good. Let's reward him. They believed in him back in camp. And I'm glad I was able to find this quote from Kevin Dotson. This was after one of the practices, like midway through camp. I remember him saying it, and I'm really glad our friend Brock Vieira, Rams on SI, was able to get an article on this, and I was able to find the quote. But in short, he says, Warren's a dog. He's always ready to, no matter where they put him at. And I think he's ready for any time they throw him in. It doesn't matter what time it is, what game it is, what person it is that we're going against. I trust him, trust in everything he does. And that's the guy playing next to him. The amount of emotion that he answered the question with at the time, I remember specifically, like, he locked in for this answer. It was a nice emotional one. It was a nice sentiment because it was around the time that there was uncertainty about Rob and if Warren was going to be ready to step up if needed. He answered the bell. And then on the right side, I know it's a little bit small for you guys, but it's 2025 regular season pressure rate from all tackles. Warren McClendon is number one, allowing a pressure rate of only 2.94% of his snaps. And this is just in his 10 regular season games. He played very well in the 3 postseason games as well. The way I look at it, if you're a lineman, if you can step in, step out, and there's not an article written about you, I think you did a really good job. USA Expat says 4 out of 5 O-linemen missed games last year, and it showed. I mean, to that statement though, like, can you draft somebody at every position? Like, do they have to draft more guards? Do they draft the center? I don't disagree that they need to do a better job at getting their depth ready for this time this season, as opposed to other years where it's like, we'll let him develop and he'll be ready in 2 or 3 years. I hear you of like, hey, we need a guy that can go week 4 this year now. And I think there are some guys outside of round 1 that can do that, simply because the talent level in round 1 at other positions is that elite. Wide receiver being one of them. We talked about some of those guys. I think to finish my point, I think at pick 13, what you can get talent level wise out of a DB or out of a wide receiver, hell, even a linebacker potentially if Sonny Styles drops, compared to the top end potential you'd get from one of these tackles, I think there's a difference. Like, I truly do believe that there's a significant enough gap that warrants taking a wide receiver over that. USA Expat says, but a wide receiver at 13 might play some, but Stafford target the guy much. It's a little bit, but he's on the field. If he's pick 13, he's that good, and he steps into a role where he's sharing time with Adam, taking time away from the other guys for wide receiver 3. If he's the sole wide receiver in 13 personnel, that's an impact. Even if he's not getting targeted, how do you align? Like, let's say it's Chris. Let's say it's let's just play and say it's what's his name, Carnell Tate. Let's say it's Carnell Tate for some reason he's on the Rams. He's such a huge threat to go deep and to run every route that if he's the lone wide receiver in 13 personnel, just him being on the field, I do think that that's a significant like X factor that opens up everybody else. That even if he's not getting targeted, now Terrence Ferguson eats more, Kyron Williams gets more yards per carry. Stafford's job is a little bit easier as opposed to a lineman. If he is a depth piece and it's a great insurance piece and it's perfect, he's not on the field. It's hard to make an impact right away. First picks always need to be starters. Always believe that, but it does invite an interesting conversation. Like, I appreciate the conversation and I love seeing how Rams fans approach it. I will say the majority of Rams fans are very aware of like, hey, we don't care if it's a sexy pick. We just want a pick to help us win right now and go get a ring in February. Unanimously, that's what Rams fans want. Like, we just want a ring. We don't care. Draft a fucking defensive tackle for all we care. Is he going to help us win games? Anyways, that was just, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit of who they shouldn't draft, at least in my opinion. I think there's going to be a million more think pieces on that between now and the draft. But let's jump back into this. If you guys got more questions about them, drop them into the chat and we'll bring them up. Muad'Dib says, but can they be sexy though? If they're anything like Sexy Dexy, I fully believe that. Making sense of the rookie draft class. We went through days 1 and 2 before. I want to touch on day 3 just because there are some guys that you watch enough film and you start to question what's wrong with him. Everyone's highlight tape looks really good. When you put on the full games and I see them block, I see them make every catch. Maybe they just need some release work, which, okay, cool. Come learn under Eric Yarber and Devontae Adams. Like, I bet you'll be right by week 1. I think, damn, grab one of these guys in the later rounds and you have an immediate wide receiver 3 competitor. We'll see what you guys think. So some of these names you may know, some of you may not know. If you got any questions on these guys, let me know. I was able to pull up. We're going to do something a little bit different today as well. I should not get flagged on it. At least I don't think so. We've got Ted Harris. There we go. I was able to find some clips on some of these guys as well, so that way I can at least show you roughly what I'm looking at as well. Because last time I just kind of talked on it, and I'm pretty sure that's probably a really boring watch as well. 90% of fans will have breakdowns if Lemon is gone by 13. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fans that think that Snead fucked up the draft and that he should be fired because they missed out on Lemon. Swing Timer says first Tate, second Tyson, then Cooper. I mean, that's hard to be mad at if you're the Rams. If they do miss the boat on these guys, if they miss the boat on them or they just decide, hey, we love one of these guys in the later rounds, I think it'd be really cool. One of the first ones, Ted Hurst. If you want a big body guy, weighed in at 185, he'll be around 200 by the time the season comes around and he gets in the NFL offseason program. 6'3". And then what I love about what he does, let's just see. I don't think I'll get flagged for this stuff. Let's hope not, since it's not NFL property. But this is NFL Draft Files. They do a pretty good job. I would give them a follow. I like the fact they're able to pull up some all 22 stuff from some of these small school guys as well. But really like what he does. He's gonna make this catch here in the middle. Tall guy. He could play a little bit of the slot. The only problem is he played at Georgia Southern. So he, you have to really, really watch the film and question, okay, is he just a better athlete than everyone, or is he legit that damn good? Love what he does. Contested catch right here. 6'3", it's what you like to see. Fights through, gets a touchdown. Lined up on the outside down here. Good release, gets the outside. Back shoulder catch. And then just an athlete. He finishes plays really, really well. I didn't get to see a lot of how his run blocking is, but him as a deep threat, and this is a fun one, just right over the guy's head. Yeah, he's a very good player. He's going to be available, I believe, rounds 3 and 4. I don't see anybody reaching him in like round 2. I think there's just a lot of other players to go through, get sorted through round 2. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? The little quick bit that you saw there. I like him. I think he can fit more of an X role. The only problem with him is what's his release package like, because he is a little bit thinner for 6'3". How strong is he at the end of the day? My personal favorite, I love talking about this guy every single chance. Like with Chad Powers throwing him the rock. Talking about this guy, or are you talking about the Georgia State guy? But Dejon Stribling, I'm in love with this man. If you know this man, if you talk to him, let him know I have a crush. I got a big man crush. He's just goddamn good at football. Let's go find the clip I got pulled up for him. It's right here. NFL Draft Files again. So he got some play time in the college football playoff, playing for Ole Miss. I will say, I think he would have had a lot more yards, a lot more touchdowns, if Trinidad Chambliss could throw the ball past 30 yards. Every single time on these deep routes, I see him wide open. It's just he has to wait for the ball every single time. Chambliss really struggled with his deep ball in a lot of reps. But just strong. Even when he doesn't work his release really well, he's strong enough to get guys off him. Love this play. Late hands, very Devontae-esque. Snatches everything. Catches things away from his body. And this is against Georgia. I know it's a little blurry there, but if it says Sugar Bowl playoffs on there, this is against Georgia. This guy, Stribling, or are you talking about Ted Hurst? Ted Hurst, I can look real quick to see what his blocking grade is. But Dejon, he's more of a dog. Even if his technical blocking is not the best, he's strong and willing. And as you can see, like, pretty damn good football player. I'm hoping they show one of these plays. Is it this one? There's one where he absolutely leaves a Georgia defender. Another back shoulder. Yeah. And I believe Stribling ran a little bit under a 4.4, either 4.4 flat or just under it. One of the faster guys in the draft. He's going to be available pretty late as well. 6'2", 210. I don't like the comps of somebody saying he's a lot more similar to Debo than anything because of his agility and everything. But his route running is a lot better than Debo. It's kind of similar to the Omar Cooper Jr. situation, where like just because he is good at yards after the catch, he's Debo. It's like, no man, like watch the tape. The dude can play, man. Let's see. Mudeep says the best QBs are staying in college to make more money for less pressure. Wait till next year when you get an executive order ending players' money off their own likeness because of some. Yeah, it's that whole situation, man. It's a mess right now. It's kind of the wild, wild west. I really did hope that when NIL came about, they did it the proper way because these guys deserve to get paid, but they didn't implement enough rules whatsoever about it. Out of all the like round 3-ish, round 4 wide receivers that the Rams could go after, I feel like Stribling is a pretty good fit. I think it's somebody that Yarber would really like. And I think that he would fit in a really nice role of not just, hey, he can contribute on special teams. He can contribute, on just non-standard route running stuff. He's going to do really, really well running routes, but he can grow and give you the athleticism and the IQ to be a future wide receiver too. I like this guy a lot. Cyrus Allen, a lot of you are going to hate this, the size. 5'11", 180. I think he's closer to 5'10" by 175. He's a slot. But this is where you are comfortable taking a quote-unquote chance on day 3, rounds 4, 5, and 6 on some of these guys who are a little bit smaller, who aren't going to fill in that X role, who play a specific role. And if we're going to improve wide receivers 4 through 6, Cyrus Allen has a lot of tools that can do that. I love, like, for his size, he's so quick and good off the line. It's kind of not fair. Let's find him. Cyrus Allen. Oh, and is that his Twitter? I don't even follow him in here. There we go. All right. Cyrus Allen, baby. Oop. Just very quick. He has the twitchiness and the quickness and short space that you expect out of a guy his size. He can do better with his timing on double moves. Sometimes he's a little too slow to go on that second move or too quick. But when he hits it, when he times it well, he's got the speed and the quickness and the release to do it really, really well. Let's just watch this a little bit. Another double move, wide open. Yeah, you're going to see most of everything he does from the slot. Yeah, him working up against linebackers, even if it's a corner over in the nickel. Oh, I love that move right there. That was such a good one. Let's watch that one again. Where was it? I want to watch that one back again. Here it is. Come on, Twitter. There we go. It's just the casual, it's the casual spin that I love so much there. Very, very good. Cyrus Allen did not get a combine invite for some reason. Also love how he's willing to make catches over the middle in space. Yeah, he didn't get a combine invite. Not sure why. One of his teammates did instead. That's a severe underthrow. I hate when you see this for these guys. Wide open down the middle of the field. Like, he's going to catch that 10 yards away from anybody if you just throw it out there. So, anyways, yeah, Cyrus Allen, smaller guy, didn't get a combine invite. Really impressed at the pro day. The main thing everybody liked and loved about what he can do is his release off the line. Obviously, when you're that size, questions are going to come up on, what if someone presses you? Well, not going to happen too much when you're playing in the slot, or if you play in a system like McVay's, where you're going to motion every damn drive, every damn play. Not really a huge concern there, but his release game. He's going against some of the top guys at the Senior Bowl, and he impressed. And when it came to contested catches, like down at the red zone, he really impressed as well. Do a quick search through Twitter, just type in Cyrus Allen. There's going to be a flurry of stuff from the Senior Bowl. People wonder like why he wasn't at the combine, which I'm curious about as well. All right. Now we're getting into the niche guys, the guys who are not just on paper. You look at the film, not right away. You don't see oh, yeah, absolutely. That's an NFL ready wide receiver. Plug him in for the Rams right now. And he's taking snaps away from, Jordan Whittington. But they're really, really, really good at either one or two things that you can see it. You can see something for maybe a year or two down the road, or special teams, or maybe they are just in a bad situation where they didn't get to run a lot of cool routes, or they had a bad offensive coordinator. They're like, maybe there's something there. Kendrick Law is one of them. 6 foot 205. I think he's closer to 5'11. He is like the utility type guy where, okay, cool, he could run routes and he's pretty okay at them. He's going to block. He's really aggressive football player. But damn, just get the ball in his hands, even if it's on a fly sweep or something, and the dude is just going to leave everybody. Let's see. There's some stuff on here. Yeah, contested catch rate. He's got to work on hands, limited route tree. He originally was a running back, recruited to Alabama. He wanted to convert to wide receiver, did so, transferred to Kentucky, where I don't think Kentucky's offense is all that to write home about. But here he's at the top, catching a bubble. And if you don't take a good angle on him, he is gone. And this is against Tennessee. Colton Hood right here chasing him down. Colton Hood ran a, 4.4 or so. Here he is again against Tennessee, making guys miss. He's a definition of just playmaker. Like, does he need some work on route consistency and being natural as a wide receiver because of his running back days? Possibly. I'm in no way saying like, get this guy and plug him in as a starter right away. But imagine all the screens and everything that they do throw to Jordan Whittington, they try the tutu to Xavier Smith. Imagine him doing that instead. And then here he is. Oh, hey, we actually got a blocking highlight for one of these guys. Let's go. Shout out to Bengals Brews, man. Yeah, here he is. Taking on a block, getting a double team, and just working, not giving up. Working the whole time. Here he is on a fly sweep. Very good football player. Once he gets the ball in his hands, at least. But yeah, love what this guy can do. Most of this film is going to be a lot of short stuff. So I don't know like how he is intermediate. It's a little frustrating, I will admit. There's not a lot of tape out there on him, and I think that does speak more to the Kentucky offense. This is somebody that I would love, like, hey, round 6, if he's sitting there and Eric Yarber has a plan for him, like, okay, we've seen some tools. He just needs the refinement. I'm down. Like, I would be very excited about this. The special teams aspect, if he's willing to do it, when you're a high recruit to Alabama and you got to transfer down, is that something that was it fully his choice? Was he just not happy, not getting playing time? There's some questions in there that I don't have the answers to, but I'm pretty sure that Snead and the team, the rookie recruiting team, their scouting team is taking a look at all these things. So far out of the guys that we've looked at so far, so yeah, Kendrick Law, Cyrus Allen, Stribling, Ted Hurst. Is there a guy that's popping for you that you think absolutely you've seen something on him before? Maybe you've heard something else. Do you have any opinions on any of these guys so far? I think we got like 2 or 3 that I really, really like. And then we'll round up with some other stuff. But after him, now we're getting later in the 6th round, 7th round potential, where these are like diamonds in the rough. Like, and I mean, you got to do some digging, because Kobe Young is one of those guys where you could see a lot of George Pickens in his game because he's super big, super athletic. When he can get up and go after the ball, you just go, wow, all the time. The problem is he got hurt. He had a broken leg, I think, in October. He had a leg fracture in October, and it was ready to play in the college football playoff and was making plays. Insane for him, to be honest. Go with some blurry clips here. I think this is from the Senior Bowl, I believe. Very fast, just freaky athlete. I just think a little bit more raw. I think he's a little bit more of an athlete than he is like a polished wide receiver. And I think that goes for a lot of the Georgia wide receivers. Like Zachariah Branch is there, like very fast, very quick, but I think he's slated for like a second or third round. He's not like the super polished guy either. I want to find some more on him actually for you guys. Let's see. See if we can find some actual game tape. Oh, this is from his gauntlet. Like fluid, like a very fluid athlete. Mudeep says in these late rounds, I think Snead likes to take chances on captains and good character guys. Yeah, not to say he's not a good character, anything. I think if you want to point at one thing that's been a headline for him is the fact that he did have a leg fracture in October, worked his ass off, and was ready to play in the playoffs. Here we go. We got some game stuff here. Here we go. This is against Auburn, it looks like, down at the bottom. Yeah, the way he moves, very fluid, good toe tap. You can kind of see a little bit of like the George Pickens thing in there, right? Or am I tripping? Stacks on top. Is that Colton Hood? No, it's not Colton Hood. Here he's playing at the slot. Big physical guy, man. Like there's a lot there. Obviously, these are highlights, so you're going to look great in your highlights, but you can tell a lot from a guy in his best plays. Like I always look first thing at highlights, like okay, does it at least pop? Do my eyes get a little big when you're making a big play? And Colby Young, he checks that box. I want to go back more and see how is his run blocking. What are his interviews like? Does he fit like Muad'Dib said? They love going after the captains, the developmental guys, the guys that really want it. Because when you are a sixth, seventh undrafted guy, you need something besides just, hey, I'm good at football. Like I'm here. Because you're not gonna get the same amount of chances. Like you're gonna get a little bit less opportunities. You might be relegated to the practice squad right away, and you might be a little down on yourself, lose confidence. You have to have something more. That's why they like going after the guys that transfer up because they're used to being like that underdog. Even for a guy like Jared Verse, like, hey man, you're a first round pick, but we got some uphill shit to deal with. Like you're not polished. Our defense is young. You're gonna have to scrap for every sack. And he's used to that. And it's really cool to see them build a team around that. And so I need to see what Colby Young has in there, something like that to match that. Nuisance. You gonna vote for me? You gonna vote for me? Nah, don't vote for me. I'm making it illegal for Muad'Dib to be here because he's just on my ass all the time. I hate him so much. I don't know why he's here. Anyways, back to it. Colby Young, thoughts? Do you see the George Pickens in there? Am I tripping? I would hate for them to miss the boat on someone like this for just overlooking him for some reason. This one's fun. Nuisance F them votes. I agree. This one is very, very specific. Like this is if you want to address the special teams. Ignore don't look at the height. Don't look at it. Ignore it. The height don't matter on punt return and kick return. This guy is a return specialist. He was the best returner in the country this last season. Hell, I think he was the best the last 2 years, I think. Caden Weegen, here we go. He's got 2.5 minutes of just return highlights. And I need to see if he is this is all this year. Wheatgen, Big Dub. We're gonna call him Big Dub. And Mudeep says get him at 13. Can you imagine Les Snead saying we drafted a 5'9" punt returner at pick 13? I don't know if he's a mad genius or he just wants to retire early. I don't know what that would be. But yeah, here we go. He's gonna be down at the bottom left, returning some kicks here. First of all, how he caught that over the shoulder is wildly impressive off the shoulder pads. What I noticed is I think he ran like a 4.5, like high 4.4, 40-yard time. When he changes direction, like it's like he doesn't change speed. He stays at the same speed, whether he's cutting left, right, or going back. That's so hard to stop. He just doesn't go down. I love me some Hawkeyes football, man. Is our resident Hawkeye fan in here? I know I think he was here Monday when we were talking with Laquan Jones, but yeah, there's a diehard Rams fan who is a huge Hawkeyes fan as well. And so he's always hyping the guys up. And so I've started paying attention to Iowa a little bit more. And I just love their program. They always have at least one or two guys that are just baller football players that no one talks about. Caleb Johnson, the running back from last year, that's stuck in Pittsburgh hell right now. I really like the way he plays as well. But yeah, this is a guy that you can get, I think, 6th round at the earliest. I think if a team really falls in love with him and they have a bunch of 6th round picks and they really want to address it, they don't care about the size. They like him a lot. Like, dude, we're barely halfway through this highlight clip and he's still returning kicks. Like, if you can get this is game changing. If this can translate to the NFL, if he can get comfortable and like this is Big Ten football, I don't care what Iowa's record was. I don't care how they turned out. I don't care about his height. Like, there's plenty of 5'9", 5'10" guys returning kicks in the NFL right now that have careers. There's plenty of wide receivers playing at his height right now doing okay. Yeah, his fielding ability, it's very like, don't get this out of context. It's giving Devin Hester style comfortability when the ball is getting near him on returns. Like his ability just to track the ball, whether it's going to skip, whether it's going to, he mistimed the trajectory of it. He's just very comfortable with it. I hope it translates on offense as well, because it'd be cool if he was a good little slot receiver. One more, and then we'll transition out of this. But dude, it feels like every kick he has, he's a threat to take it to the house. Now, obviously, if you paid attention, these are all punts. I don't know what his kick return tape looks like. Like everything that I've seen is just punts. But even so, in a world where the Rams are still trying to figure out what their special teams is going to look like, it's all new coordinator, new faces there. Troy Reader is still not signed. They may have replaced him with Stewart. So we'll see. Mudeep says Big Ten is best in amateur sports. I can't tell if you're taking a shot at them or not, or if you really meant that. And then we got one more guy. I'm confused on this one. And I think I got homework for you guys. For those of you that do follow me on Twitter, I can't shut the hell up on there, especially when I find a player that I really like, or I see some bullshit that I don't agree with. Jordan Hudson had a pretty productive year at SMU. ACC football resident there. He's slated to go round 7 or just undrafted completely. And from what I've seen, when I watched the full games, super productive. Is it a character issue? Is skepticism on his blocking? I don't know. He's 6'1", 200, so he's got the size. We'll pull up. This is the one that I'm worried about us getting hit on here on YouTube, just because it is ACC action. Full game clips. But we'll take a look one clip at a time and kind of see how he does. Here he is. Like, his release game is okay. Like, obviously, he's not perfect. And I think that's one area he could work on. Again, come hang out at Eric Yarber's school of wide receiver wizardry, and you're going to be fucking okay at your release game. High points it. It's against Texas Tech. No, are they SEC now? Are they still Big 12? Can't remember if they are. It's fun. I know that's the same play. Here's a new play. He's down at the bottom hiding beneath the Dr. Pepper bullshit there. Good catch over the middle. Yeah, he's got a few games where he's got over 100 yards, and he just looks like the best player on the field in spurts. I'm really worried about playing this clip. He's okay at accelerating, decelerating after the catch. I know that for a fact. But he's just constantly open. Maybe are his routes just not like sharp? Like I'm really confused on what the problem is with Jordan Hudson. Because if you're constantly open and you have the numbers that he did, I don't really know what the issue is. Let's do a quick Google search on this guy. Yeah, 61 receptions, 766 yards, 6 touchdowns, 12.6 average. Did just fine. Let's see. What school was he at every single year? SMU for 3 years. It could be the production where he wasn't productive all through his career. So that'd be the only thing. But I don't really know. I don't know. I like him a lot, though. I pop on the tape. He does some really, really cool things for somebody who is going borderline undrafted. He does a lot of things that remind me a little bit of Konate Mumfield. And if you can challenge Konate for the same things and get him for undrafted, why not? Mudeep says, are there any players from Mac State? I mean, Sac State? Oh, Mac State. I see what you're saying there. No, there's not anybody really coming out of Sac State this year. The guy that came out last year was a lineman. They took a look at him. I think they interviewed him. Jackson Slater. He's playing guard for the Tennessee Titans right now. I think he went mid-round. He was like a midday guy. But no, I liked him a lot. I was really hoping. The other one is Marty Mapu. He plays like linebacker safety hybrid for the Patriots. So he was in the Super Bowl. I was really hoping they'd take a risk on him a few years ago. But still no Sac State guys here on my Rams. Sac State got regulated to the MAC. Shut up. They got upgraded. Quiet down. And then when it's all said and done, we're just looking for this guy. When we're looking at deep dives, we're looking at who is going to fit this wide receiver room. This is who I have in mind. I want a Robert Woods type guy, a guy who can do it all, who can be the more reserved piece, the quieter piece to the Puka Nacua, who's going to be the route technician. Maybe he's not even the greatest athlete. There's guys that run faster 40s, jump higher, but God damn, is he just always open. That's who I'm looking at. That's who I'm looking for. Was there a favorite on this list that you guys had? We'll go through them one more time. So starting from the back, pause. Jordan Hudson, he's a super, super late guy. Caden Wheatgen, if you want your special teams, Fanny tickled. Colby Young is more of the diamond in the rough, crazy good athlete, but really, just needs some technician work. Kendrick Law is, again, that diamond in the rough, crazy good athlete, very fast. Give him the ball, and he can take any ball to the house. But again, can you develop him into a route technician? Cyrus Allen has those traits, very good at routes, can get deep. Like he actually, what the line I wanted to say was he shows what we were hoping to get at Tutu Atwell this year. I think he's obviously bigger than Tutu, but physical enough, great hands, very good off the line. My favorite one, I've been very loud about it on Twitter as well, is Jan Stribling, 6'2", 210. I think he's just underrated. I think if he had a better quarterback, I think that's really it. I think if he had a better quarterback, slightly different system from OC, I think he's talked about like a second rounder. I think he's in that range. And then Ted Hurst, one of the better guys out of the not Power Five. What are they? The Group of Five? What are they called? Is it Group of Five? Forget the clever little tag they put on the small schools. One of the top guys there. You can argue he's probably one of the better guys from that conference, or I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Very good at football. He's a top 100 prospect on a lot of people's boards. But the question is, okay, are you just a better athlete than the guys you were playing because you played at Georgia State? I hate that conversation, but it is something that you got to address. It's the same thing that they're going through with Lance from North Dakota State, the Trey Lance's brother. So same conversation with him. I think he's less polished than Lance. That's why he's going in like 3, 4, and above. So yeah, let me know. Is there a guy that you guys love completely? Just because I like someone doesn't mean you gotta like them. So what do I know? Mudeep says, lay down the law. We know Steve getting a running back. That would be the great trade-off. Like, okay, don't draft the running back, but we're going to draft Kendrick Law because he used to play running back. Yeah, no, I don't know about all that. But I didn't really have – it's Friday. I didn't have anything else for you guys. I just wanted to go through that. What are your guys' thoughts on Warren McClendon? I think some more respect needs to be put on his name. I'm glad that conversation came out today. I'm curious what Joe thinks. We're going to talk about it on Monday when he's back. I think he gets back in town tomorrow. And so we'll be back on our regularly scheduled program every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. Catch me tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I believe we're shooting for a 9:30 stream. I am going to be joined by Rams Fan of the Year tomorrow. So he was over at Super Bowl. I want to talk to him about his experience there as Rams Fan of the Year, him earning that title, how he was surprised. I was at the game when they gave him that honor, when they surprised him at halftime. Come on, bro. Pacific. Cali time. Yeah, 9:30 a.m. Cali time tomorrow is when we're shooting for a stream. We'll post about it, obviously. We'll make a post about it when we secure it. But yeah, we're going to be talking with our resident Fan of the Year. I'm very excited about that. And yeah, that's really all I got for you guys. We can chill for a second or two if you guys got any questions. But then we'll cut out like 5 minutes. We'll go enjoy our Fridays. I know some of you actually got social lives, or you're going to lie on social media and pretend that you got social lives just for all of us to see. Let's see. Meanwhile, in Rams world, what's happening on Twitter right now? They respects position. Jordan Brooks is available. Yeah. I think the big thing that we're going to talk about next week is the positions that everyone's kind of content with. Like, we look at the result from 2025 and just think that the team is okay. That's going to be that good again. You got to constantly shape. You got to constantly adjust for, one guy's age. Another guy, did he reach his peak? You got to adjust. And because other teams are going to keep getting better, just because the Seahawks were the big, roadblock last year. The year before it was the Eagles. They weren't even in the picture. So you got to constantly adjust and keep other teams on their toes. Like next year, it could be the 49ers again. Like their defense could be number one in the league, and you're contending with that. Like, how do you beat that? Yeah, there's just a lot of different ways. And the reason I'm making that point is because a linebacker. Like, I look at it, I don't think the linebacker room is particularly like a top 5 unit in the league. And I am including the outside linebackers with Verse and Byron Young. It's a hot take. But if I'm looking at, Landman and Spates and Dolak and now Stewart, it's cool. Like, I like the guys, and I think they all contribute in very cool ways. But there's not somebody that I ever look at like, oh, that's the best player on the field. Because you guys know how Landman finished the year. And so how do you adjust? Do you add something to that? What do you say? What are you drinking? Me, bro, I am a sicko. I got coffee. I'm drinking coffee at 6:52 at night, just so that way I'm not like falling asleep doing the stream. Because I'm opposite that when I get so worked up, my ADHD makes me a little sleepy. And so I gotta hit the coffee this late. Aiden says, really like McClendon. People forget he's a national champ with Georgia, 1,000%. And I pulled up some of those stats at the beginning of his pressure rate, but I think people forget it went so under the radar that he stepped in. He played 13 total games, 13 of the 20 games for the Rams last year. That's not a small sample size. That's a majority of the season. Like, that's enough to know, okay, is a guy going to, just be hot for 3 or 4 games and then trail off because he sucks? No, he got better as the season went on. And even down to the NFC Championship game, he wasn't an issue. He wasn't the reason why the Rams weren't able to run the ball, super effectively. So, yeah, I like McClendon a lot. I think more needs to be talked about him. I think he's the poster boy for the Rams system. Him and Quentin Lake come in, just work behind the scenes. You may not play for the first 2-3 years, but by God, if you just trust the system, you trust the process, not to quote the damn Sixers, but trust the process. If our gamble pays off, like you're a starter and you're a key contributor to this team. Quentin Lake, I thought Tink McCullough was going to be similar, but now Warren McClendon, literally the perfect example of that. And everybody says wife and kids. Friday nights are pretty tame to me. I don't know, man. I don't know what you guys partake in, what your substance of choice is, but I heard Bluey on some vegetables is quite a laugh. Is quite a hoot. Moody says, "Are we going to have first and draft board?" I actually like that. I should. There's some other, like, I haven't written anything big in the last like 2-3 weeks. The only thing I wrote recently was, I'll show you guys real quick. Let me pull this thing up. I talked about it at the beginning of what I had been working on, the 32 teams in 32 days. You want to see how long this damn thing is? Let me find it. It's a recap of the entirety of the Rams 2025 season. Here it is. I had been working on this, so I wasn't writing too much. But yeah, a Word doc ended up being 15 pages because, quick intro. It's a one-stop shop of like, okay, who coached, awards, team stats, and then each game, the draft picks, preseason, and then week by week, a quick blurb about which thing happened. So you see how long this damn thing is. Yeah. So I love writing. Just need a little bit more time because we're also dealing with the branding, fixing some stuff, getting ready for the new year, getting ready for training camp because that's fucking around the corner. Are you guys who here is going to training camp? Like we need to start a freaking list to see like who we're going to see there, because I know Joe's going to try to make for some of it, and I'm super excited now that I got the first one under my belt credentialed. Like I cannot wait for the next one. Hey Ray, thank you. That made my day. I think it's really cool. Joe says it often as well, for two guys that are independent and that have been doing this for a few years and just finally getting to a point where it's like, okay, cool. We can do a Patreon. We can offer content. We have regulars. We have a community that, trusts us with things that we say about their favorite team. The fact anyone wants to come and just donate $1, $2 just for shits and giggles, I think is the coolest fucking shit like ever. So appreciate you guys. Even if none of you ever drop another dime on our channels, we're still doing this and it's super fun. So we love you guys. Tuna did a show, hand style solo, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Need at least 2 more chains. We're working on it. Big respect to Alaric and McClendon. The injuries seem to attack the O-line, so getting a swing tackle seems like a good thing. Agreed. I don't think anyone disagrees with the logic of taking somebody. I think the only conversation is when. So I think in regard to that, since we kind of went through wide receiver already, I do want to go through a lot of the big positions, like top to bottom, first round all the way through undrafted, who I think works for the Rams. I was going to do corner next just because, I had notes on them already. But I think what I'll do this weekend is I'll just spend time going through all the tackles. There's a few I know late that I like, but it's the mid-round ones I'm not sure on. So I think starting next week, we'll have our list of tackles that we think would really, really fit. So, Rob, you're not wrong, bro. That would definitely help. That's funny, Tuna. Oh, we watched this Bluey. Hey, there you go. So now you got to make it a date with the wife. You gotta indulge in something. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you like the vegetables. I don't know if you like the gummies, or if you're just sober Sally and you're gonna power through it. I heard it's fun. Girlfriend's family has little kids, and they Bluey is on all the time. Tuna country. Let's stupid. Yeah, Modeep, come through camp, man. We'll do something fun. We'll do shit. We got a stream on site. We'll do something with you, man. That'd be super fun. Ray hasn't been in a couple of years. Aiden says he's looking forward to camp this year. What team? I hate you. Yes, I do. But for the show, no, we don't. Expat, looking forward to your OT breakdowns. I am too, man. I got a chance to talk to one. So if you want something fun to watch in the meantime, this gentleman here, let me find him. I teased about it earlier in the week. We started working with our started working with our college guys. There's a few agents that we, get a chance to talk to and work with, and that trust us to talk to their guys. Trevante Sylvester. He's one of those guys. He didn't play a lot of games. He was on the injury report to start his year. He had to build up a little bit of bulk back because of an injury. My introduction to him was the Miami game. I think it was week 8. Miami was ranked number 2. We all know the story of who they got. They got Ruben Bain Jr. and Keem Mesidor, 2 like top 15 guys. He pitched a shutout, no sacks, 0 pressures, was really, really good, strong in the run game. And he played that game at around 280. And so if he's going to put on the weight that is needed, around 300 pounds for a tackle, he can play left and right tackle. And I'm not seeing him on anyone's board. So for somebody who is a 5-year player, a 4-year starter, played at a program like Louisville, it's a legitimate school. It's not a small school. And he has recent tape, consistent tape going against round 1 guys and dominating them and not letting them near his quarterback. I don't know what else there is to talk about him. And this is not like speculation of reading tweets of like, oh, I heard he's a great guy and this coach says this. I personally talked to him. I personally talked to his agent, and I love the dude. Super funny, very good guy. The most I got him to light up about was him talking about his family and his personal life. Big family person. The way he talked about like grandma and stuff like that was really, really awesome. That spot hit near and dear to my heart because I love my grandmother. And yeah, it just felt like he was a good person, like through and through. I think he's got a little bit of that dog mentality. Like there's 2 things that he would smile about. It was talking about family, and it was talking about things I saw Louisville fans talk about. Like when he got back in the game, it felt like the mindset switched from the Louisville O-line of let's go whoop someone's fucking ass. And he loves being talked about that way of like just a dog. Grandma's boy, whoop your ass, bro. That's a large man. He's not small. 6'5", 300 pounds. That's a big dude. But he reminds me a little bit of Alaric in his demeanor, like very laid back. So he's definitely going to be on there. It gives me an opportunity to stop and think like, how many other guys are we missing out on like constantly that we just, because ESPN didn't talk about them, or hell, how many Louisville games are you guys really watching? You know what I mean? Unless you happen to really love a player there or watch them, we're missing out on a lot of guys. And then we're surprised when they show up on a team like, oh shit, like I didn't know about this guy. So excited for his episode to come out. That'll come out tomorrow night. And then, Jacobian Morgan, the Jackson State quarterback, man, dude's a baller. But that'll come out next week. Appreciate you guys, man. You guys are all fun hanging out with me on these last 2 episodes where we're riding solo dolo without Joe. If you get a chance to talk to him, tell them that we killed it. Tell them that we're just so much more handsome and fun and funny without him. We're back Monday, and as always, go Rams. That will end the stream, and